Hello, how is everyone? Hope we're all good. So basically, Leeds United have not yet put the full match highlights up, which is odd. They usually do. Wonder why. So I'm going to have to review the goals conceded from the highlights today and do my match analysis on the highlights. I won't get angles, I won't get build up necessarily, but there's some decent build up. You still get a picture from what we've been given here. So yeah, let me know what you guys think after the video. Give me some feedback. Yeah, just before we get onto the goals, I just want to show this one thing. Sorry, I can't help myself. So this is a big chance we had early on in the game. It's Kunati on the ball here. And if you look at our shape, so Liverpool had very good rotation. They are an incredibly good team at rotating. Yeah. So as you can see here, you've got Trent, who often found himself when they were going forward, when they actually played with width, he'd sit a lot narrower. Then these three here would rotate endlessly. Henderson or Thiago, Salah, they just endlessly rotate. And that's obviously to try and create overloads in different areas to put you off your marking, who you're marking. Yeah, that's what it's about, really. Creating different areas, creating different lines, creating different areas of the pitch in which you can expose your opponent. They were very good at rotations, but in this situation here, so this is when we actually win the ball back. Now, this is what I like. I don't mind if we're being defensive. If we can play like this, where you're not that deep, when they've got the ball, you're not too deep. As you can see here, we're not actually that deep. We have 5 men, fairly high up, and then our back 4 defence. Rock are just watching anything in these areas here. It's quite interesting as well. As you can see, Aronson's that highest man, basically for his pressing. Rodrigo's given a role to just more sit in between the midfielders, the winger and the centre mid. Obviously, he's decent at reading the ball, but not the biggest runner. Hence why Harrison's there to harry and annoy the defenders. The shape's quite good here. As you can see, Liverpool are in the middle of a rotation. So Kunati passes the ball in here, and Rocker recognises that that's a trap. So that's something we've definitely worked on in training. He's recognising that trap. And what I like about this now is the way we react. From this position here, as you can see, Liverpool have 5 guys to our 2, really, that are beyond the ball, 3. And this is what I like about Brendan. He's always in a position to receive it. Always. He's always in a position to get out. As you can see here, in this position here when he's got the ball, Aronson could easily be in this area, because that's where the press was. But he's actually always in between. And I could do an entire video on it. He's always in between men. No one knows who to mark in that position. No one knows where Aronson is in order to mark him. No one knows whose man that is. Obviously, if he goes side to him, Cine's got more space. Rodrigo will have more space. Van Dijk can't get sucked out there. There's a central midfielder who's not close to him. And he starts a good attack, and he's always looking over his shoulder as well. Receives the ball on the half turn. Sinisterra knows that's going to happen. He anticipates that. And then in this position now, you have Cine going forward, you have Jack going forward, and you have Rodrigo going forward here. All from one little bit of play, which we've obviously trained and developed, and from Aronson's good positioning. And it's a little look he does just before. It's basic stuff, but it's decent. Quick turn, and then he plays a decent ball for Cine, who kicks it wide. I just want to show that first. Just a little bit of something I picked up there. Yeah, their first goal. Now, this is actually Liverpool's read the ball here, and he's done quite well. There's a lot been said about his touch. This is his touch. Now, when he gets the second touch here, there's still enough time to do something with the ball. Right? It wasn't like the touch went straight to Alexander-Arnold. He's got a good 2 or 3 yards in front of him, where he could either just knock it out there, knock it into McKennie, or just kick it over him and run onto it. Now, what he's actually decided to do is pick Sinisterra, who's brought beyond Henderson here, and will probably have a 1v1. Trent's out of position, so you've got to remember there's all this space. So he's clearly tried to thread it through there. So yeah, the touch wasn't great, but in this position here, he's still got a lot of space to occupy the ball. Now what he's tried to do is cut it on the inside of Trent to pick that line, which he would have done if the guy didn't handball the thing. So yeah, his touch wasn't great, but at the end of the day, there's still a situation there where if he hasn't handballed it, it's going straight to Sinisterra, who's in loads of space with 1 or 2 defenders only back. And after that, then they're always going to have an overload because there's 2v1 on the right. Our guy's gone up. Yeah, this one's difficult. I think it's a rest mistake, if I'm being really honest. In hindsight, Junior should have booted it. But in real time, Junior's tried to do what any team would try to do, and he's passed it to the free man who's got a 1v1 in an attacking position because the right back's out of position. He's clearly not either got the connection right, or it's hit his arm and it was going straight to him. It's one or two things. Yeah, and it's just a simple matter of momentum. They've got momentum, they're quicker. It's hard to mark a man when he's moving across. There's not much on that goal, bar from the original situation. I think it can slide, potentially. Can Mizia read it? Yeah, but you can't really leave that front post. So, come on, it's a bit... Erasmus is behind him, but, we're picking here because he's quicker than him. At the end of the day, he's quicker than him. That's one thing you can't... He's quicker. Second goal, yeah, initially good little bit of play from Aronson here, who apparently was terrible, but I actually thought he was quite good. Frustrating in times, which we know you can be. It draws 2 men here, draws 2 men out of the game, leaves a bit of an overload in this position. That's Henderson there. Takes 2 guys on, draws 2 men, gives the ball inside. Sinner here, who loses man really well, gets the ball to McKennie. I don't understand the first touch. I don't understand what McKennie's trying here. I don't understand any of it. All McKennie needs to do here is let that ball run across his body. That is all he needs to do. That guy's behind him. His McKennie's body is in front of the ball. That's all he needs to do. Once he's done that, let that ball run across his body. We've got all this space to occupy, and there's a simple ball for Jack. And if there isn't, because this defender comes across, McKennie's got all the space in the world to run with it. There's always going to be options. Do you know what I mean? He tries to cut inside. It's just a terrible decision at the end of the day. I'm not going to sit here and say, terrible football, which people, It's just a terrible decision. It's a decision that will cost you a goal against a team like Liverpool. Because look, we've committed now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rocker's out of position. We've committed 6 guys that are out of position. And then 2 seconds later, this is... I don't like this, by the way. I don't like that. But this is the position we're in now. All let's do is let it run across his body. And then we're in a decent position to score a goal. But now, as you can see, momentum, Liverpool, Jurgen Klopp, they're going to run. Their players are going to be the first to this ball. But there's no doubt about that. Say what we want about Liverpool this year, the players are the same players. They still have in them what our players had in the Bielsa. There's still that in them. That desire to get there first, to run more than you. See, one thing you always say here, as a defender, is delay and delay. And Robin Koch actually does a decent job of delaying. He does a good job of delaying. You have to delay in this position. You can't commit. If you commit here, you're either risking a yellow card and a dangerous free kick, or the second you try to step to him, he's just going to give the ball out to Salah. So what he does is try to delay, try and get more men back. As you can see, we have 2 in front of their rest, so that would be 5v3. Try and delay to make it a 5v3, as opposed to a 3v3, which it is now. Again, not bad delaying here. You can see this space here is vacant. Liverpool can cover that, but here is the communication now. Krauk, I don't know whether I'm not there. Has he shouted? Pass him on. Behind you. Right shoulder. Engage. What's been shouted there? By the looks of it, Pascal wants to stay with him. He's gone all that way. He's left that space. He's vacated that area. And there's no threat in here. Cody Gakpo is running, but he's not sprinting. He's not in a position where he's going to get in there in the space of a second behind Junior Firpo. And again, Koch's alright in this position. He's watching his man. He's slowing down his man. He's done his job. It's a 5v3. All it needed is 1 extra second. But it's this one now. And Strauch's, he's done what he needed to do. He's followed his man, which is fine, but you're just not close enough to him. If you're going to allow yourself to be in a situation where you're a 1v1, you've got to be close enough, especially if Robin Koch's trying to delay. He's done his job. He's delayed. There's no threat inside. These 2 are covering in there. Koch's done fine here. This is not Koch's fault at all. He's delayed the play. Pascal has to do better. He's just not close enough. And there's only 1 pass. It's the only pass he's going to make. You have to anticipate that. You can't second guess. Elan's just seen that. Sorry, guys, but that position is terrible. It's just about to shoot. That's not good enough, is it? It's not good enough from Stroud. Well, he shouldn't be that far back. He's tracked the man. And I get it, he's quicker than him, but there's no ball involved here. You just got to get in front of him. Keep him out wide. He's not done anything to defend him. He's not defending him. It's not good enough. We can't allow this, and that position is simply not good enough in the situation we're in. It's just not. You can't allow that. It says here, I don't know whether Pascal tries to play offside, but he's slightly, it's not for long, it's for a minuscule amount of time, but he slightly stops. Maybe he's notices the last man, and if he steps, maybe he's offside. And that allows Salah to get 1 or 2 inches, I think. But again, I'm thinking here though, Robin Koch, has he realised there's nothing inside? If so, maybe he could cut this pass out. Has he recognised that as someone told him? You probably should have just shout something. Nothing inside. Engage. Cut the pass. Cut the pass. Cut the pass. Cut the pass. It is communication, and again, that comes down to mentality. Communication is a mentality trait, right? And the position is terrible. Yeah. 2-0. Our goal. It's a bad mistake, but it's a decent press. We push them back to this position. Junior's up on Salah really high. Their way out is through Trent, who's tucked in, but Rodrigo's blocking off that pass. We're very high up. What does that remind you of? We know the players have that in them. We trust him. Kanani panics, puts a terrible ball in. Sinister intercepts. Chips it. Lovely finish. We're not here to talk about that. 2-1 at that point. And we did this here. This didn't carry on the way it should have done. Lovely chip, by the way. Beautiful finish. As you can see, so we've allowed them to play the ball out, and their overload is out there. As you can see, they've got 3 guys up there. If they can create that overload, usually you'd think it'd be Trent. Trent's tucked in, which obviously has allowed everyone else to move over one more. So they need to get the ball to Salah here. Can Trent receive it in here? No, we've stopped that. We're up tight. It's 4 across the middle. The only way out for them now is a ball across here to try and get it out there. Decent play. Good positioning. I like that. I like to see that. Rocker ready to anticipate anything if it did come in here. Good. This is good position. This is decent, this. But we didn't continue it. We stopped. We decided to stop. This third goal is the worst. This third goal is horrific. So it starts off from a throw-in. Gakpo's just running here. Just got behind Rocker, who's stood in no man's land. Who's he marking? If he's marking Henderson, he's tight behind him. If he's marking him, he's behind him here. Goes over him. Let's look. As he's about to finger the ball. So Rocker was on Henderson. Sinister stood in front of the thrower. And it's just walked off him. This is basics. There's nothing to do with the coach. This is basics. You only stand in front of the man if there's a man behind him. That is basic stuff. Even McKennie here. Why are you letting him run behind you like that? The Rockers had to react. Sorry, I apologise. I had to go at Rocker. Because he's noticed that. It's just ran behind Cine here. Why does he don't need to be there? Let it come to feet. And then this is what it created. Because then he's just running behind 2 of them here. It's not good. Again. He's running in behind 2 of them here. And Pascal's decided, I'm going to go for this. But he's not got there. He didn't need to go for it, really. Maybe it's alright to come in this position. But did he really have to try and win the ball? Could he not just come in this position and allow nothing through? There's nothing really else at the moment. But he's stormed in. And he's out of position. Then we're screwed at that point. You've got to win that if you're doing that for some reason. He just knocks it past him. To Curtis Jones. Third post had to react. Yeah, he's had to cut that out. Misses it. So that's 2 missed. Then look. From a throw-in, guys. 1, because we let a man just run behind 2 of our guys with no one marking him. This is the Premier League, by the way. This is the Premier League. From a throw-in. 1 man let him just run off. He's just knocked it down. 1 defender's absolutely stormed out. No cover. And then the fullbacks tried to react by getting a foot in, who's missed his foot in. So that's 2 foot-ins missed. And then we're in this situation. It's that thing, innit? I bet you're wondering how we got here. How I got here. Yeah, we are. How on earth are we in this position? From a throwing 3 seconds earlier. A throwing was 3 seconds before this. Have you not coaching the guys to do this? Have you not coaching the guys to run out to the defenders and not mark throw-ins, not stand behind your man on a throwing, which is literally what you get told to do when you're 4 years old? Have you not telling them to miss their tackles? Have you not telling Pascal to dive in there? Shocking. Decent pass. Bit of quality. Rasmus, it's a decent pass, if I'm being honest. It's a decent pass. It's not Rasmus's fault. Elang's trying to come out and stay big. He's still kind of in no man's land there. I can't really see it. If he's kind of on the edge of his 6-yard here, maybe then Rasmus has a bit. Jota won't shoot from there, will he? If Meslier's here, Jota's not shooting first time from there. I reckon he's going to take a touch, which might give Rasmus a bit more time to recover and tighten the angle. By being there, he's made him shoot first time, and there's no one in the net. The last guy is right here, so he's literally got, and he's going to score. Yeah, not for me. That's not good goalkeeping. It's just not good football. That's a horrific goal. You don't see that at university level. You don't see that. I mean, it's decent level, but you don't even see that there. This is Premier League football. That is just not on. That is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. It's not good enough. That is shocking. From him. Potentially from him and him. Sinstera, who's not even in the pitch, by the way. From Meslier, it's not great. I think he's just got to stay a bit here. And then Rasmus might be at a delayed Jota shot and show him out wide. On to the 4th. And just before we think, as you can see, from this angle, which is better, look, there's Kakbo. And what Henderson does is moves up here, which drags Rocker out, and there's just a massive gap where he's run into. Why Sin is there and not behind him, I have no idea. You're only in front of the man if there's no one behind the man. Basic throwing defending like that. Like that. Like that. Make sure you can see them. Oh, that is terrible. Yeah, and as you can see, he stepped up, Rocker stepped out. Goes over Rocker's head into this area here. Shocking. Pass comes through, look. He's onside, good ball, good area. Rasmus can't do much there, I'll be honest. Yeah, I can't help thinking if Meslier is just here, he's not going to shoot first time. He'll probably take a touch and Meslier, they can then rush out. I don't know. I just don't think he needs to be there. Unless he's literally there. And he's there first. Next goal. Goal number 4. I can't see what happened before because this is just highlights. This is not the full game replay. It's not on LUTV yet, annoyingly. But maybe we've tried a ball up, we've lost it. It looks like how high we are. It's like we've lost the ball up here. Robinson's won it. Our midfielder high. Space in behind. Yeah, we don't cut this pass out, we're in trouble. Ball comes up. Robinson has ran past 2 of our guys. He was behind them at the start of this clip. He's now past 2 of them. Past Ostrauk here. Robinson's always going there. I think maybe he just has to watch him line, delay him a bit further. Again, what I said, delay like he did well in the first half. You have to delay here. He's going down the line. Watch him. Make him go down the line. He kind of steps in a little bit. See, he kind of comes across him. Instead of just going line with him, he tries to come across him first. Just watch him line. Delay. Let our midfielders get back. There was no delay. And he's quicker than him. Which leads to this situation. Pascal's obviously defending the line here. Anticipation, look across. The only real man in the box is Gakpo. That's the only option. Can you anticipate that's the pass? Probably. You'd see Van Dijk would do it. Other teams would do that. Ball's coming here. But again, 1, 2, 3, all in front of the men, all advancing. In this position here, again, it's anticipation. This ball now cannot go to Mo Salah. It cannot go to him. I don't think Junior has to dive in there. I think Pascal's fine. He can go in there. Junior's got to stay there. There's no out for them. The only out is this side. And that's not your problem. That's their problem. It's our right back's problem. That's not his problem. He should not be coming across to try and cut that out. He does. They don't get a tackling. They just stand there and try and block it. And then it just leads Salah. And look, he could have gone 80. He literally... See that deep from before, but he could have stepped one. Shocking. Shocking. He doesn't have to come across. And if you are coming across there, you've got to get a foot in. Both of them. Not just him. Both. Foot in now. It's got to be done. Got to be done. Wasn't done. 4-1. Not good enough. Again, fifth goal here. I'm looking at the shape. Like, it's no build up to this. This is all I've got. We're very deep. Maybe it came from a throw-in. Maybe they pinned us in. I'm looking at positionally here. So Rocker here is on Salah, which should be passed on to Firpo. There's no doubt about that. That also shuts this gap up. Rocker can then be tight to Curtis Jones. Yeah, McKennie's, why is he that deep as well? Again, I don't know what came before it, but the ball's over here. So there's no reason to be that deep. Or if you are, come out. Mate, Firpo doesn't need to be there. He needs to be in there. Rocker can then move on one. And then you're man for man in midfield. Surely. But he's coming there, which has given Curtis Jones time to turn, time to thing. Rocker's engaged too late. They passed him on too late. It's got to be quicker. He's then gone out wide. Like, the problem is, right, as I said in the last clip, in this situation here, they're also engaging now. Now, if they want the ball to stop going out wide and they're using Junior, you're kind of playing half and half in this position. You know, half and half, so Junior can then be half, so you can go out wide. That's fine. But that didn't happen because Henderson got the crossing and Junior was nowhere near him. It's almost like we played half and half until this position where he went really tight to Salah. Not before, where I showed you before where he should have been tight. He went tight now as the ball's been passed to Curtis Jones. He's not half and half anymore. Pascal there has to be a little bit further. McKennie's got that position. Why there's two positions, there's two players within 3 foot of each other, 4 foot of each other, when there's literally no threat, is beyond me. Pascal, move across there. If McKennie's in this position, Pascal needs to move across there. And then Firpo can maybe, even all the way across, McKennie can sit in there and Pascal can be right here. And then Junior can engage out wide. They don't need to, both of them don't need to be in that position. There's no threat there. You're marking him, you're marking him. Where's the threat? The threat is out there. Move on. Pascal, come into this position here. Let Junior go out wide. And that's it. We do it when it's too late. We don't anticipate these things. There's no anticipation. It's just reactionary, all of it. Do it earlier. So this pass now, Firpo's already here. He's already ready to engage. But now he's engaging as the ball's halfway to him. And look at the space he's got to put a cross in. Shocking. It's absolutely shocking. Too much anticipation. No, there's no train of thought. There's no thinking. There's no understanding in these clips. But ball comes across. Edge of the box. I don't know where he's come from and I can't be looking. I'm just too annoyed with it. Yeah, 5-1. That came from where I said. Shocking ball. How the ball can go all the way past all these guys and into him is just ridiculous. This, you know what, yeah? Trent's a very good player, and his skill on the ball, his passing is incredible. It's one of the best in the world, right? It just is. But you're looking at this position here, and you're thinking, how on earth has it gone in 5 seconds, 4 seconds after this? How has that happened? You're looking at the midfield here, decent, not bad. Rocker's getting his man. Adam Forshaw's on Thiago. McKennie's forgetting any balls out here. There's nothing really on in here. This is their overload. It's going to come from right here. It's fine. And this is the issue. So not a second later, Darwin Núñez has come in. Rasmus is kind of following him there. We step and try and play offside. I just don't think it needed to be done. Why we're trying to avoid any contact. I get it. You playing offside's a thing you do, but it's just not working. We step now as the ball's about to go in. It's just not. It's too tight for me. And why Robin's trying to engage in this position, I don't know. Maybe he's anticipated a ball coming in here. For me, you have to communicate in this position. Drop. Just drop. Don't try to play the offside when it's like that. It's too risky down the middle for me. Especially that far into your own pitch. Do that up here. But not there. Yeah, we know he wasn't offside. Let's go. Look. They're the clip. That's all of them. Give me face on. Yeah, back to me. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's. I constantly say these words about Leeds. And look at my very first few videos. Consistency. We are extremely bad and inconsistent at being inconsistent. We're very good at being inconsistent. That makes sense. There's no consistency in any of our play, in any of our players, in anything we do. It's very inconsistent. It's very up and down. It's very in the air. There's no assurance. There's no solid evidence that we're a great team. Everything is, we can be good this week, then bad for 3 weeks, and we'll put a decent performance in, but then not win because we're inconsistent at finishing. Then 1 week we'll be inconsistent at defending, and we'll attack quite well, but then we'll defend terribly. There's no solid performance. Everything's on a knife edge. And these goals show that for me. Every goal is different issues, but the same issues. Anticipation, taking responsibility, making the right decision. They're all wrong decisions. And that's from everyone. That's not just the defence. That comes through the team. It's a mentality. 3 of them goals shouldn't happen. Last one, do you play the offside there? Questionable, because a lot of the times maybe you'll get that, right? Fair enough. But again, how from that position that the ball came over to that area and it was allowed to be scored, it makes no sense because we were in a good shape. That can't happen that quickly. Trent's a good player, but come on. The first goal again, dubious. The 3 others, shocking defending. It's shocking defending. From our players, not just the defenders, from all of them. It's not good enough. Yeah. But now that's gone, we've got Fulham coming up next. I'll try to do a review at some point. Yeah, we've got to be better in that game. We've got to be better. Like I said, this was difficult to do because there's no build-ups in a lot of the goals, but as always, I appreciate the support. Let me know what you guys think. Yeah, peace.